Hi guys, it's Melanie, and today I have a review and swatches for you of the new LORAC Nude Necessities eyeshadow palette. Here is the packaging that the palette comes in. This is a 12 pan eyeshadow palette, and it is exclusive to Ulta and Ulta.com, so I will link it down below for you. It does retail for $30, so I feel like it is probably one of the more affordable high-end eyeshadow palettes that they have. I was really surprised that it was only $30. For some reason, when I went in store to grab it, I was like, I think this thing's around $40, but no, $30. So anyway, this is the packaging. It is a gunmetal, very reflective. You're gonna get a lot of fingerprints over this type of packaging. This is the back. I will say that there are no names to any of these colors, so it does come with one of these little inserts here that protects the shadows, but there's no names on here for any of the shadows. So the top has a very large mirror, which I'm going to go ahead and cover up so that I don't blind you guys, and I'll just cover it up with the box. So here is a look. You can see that I've used this shadow, and the first thing I will definitely point out to you guys is that they are a little bit powdery. They do tend to kick up a fair amount of dust. So why don't we start with just my first impressions, because today is actually the first day that I use these shadows. I used this color here, and this color here. So 1, 2, 3, actually 4 shades, this one here as well. So you can kind of see that there's still a little bit of dust on the palette. I decided to leave that on there so that you could see what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna go ahead and blow this off right now. So there you go. It does clean up really easily if you just want to blow that off. I know some people don't like doing that, so don't if you don't like it. I'm not using these shadows on anybody else, so anyway. In terms of what you're getting here, you are getting a mix of matte and shimmer shadows. Some of them are a little bit more shimmery. Some of them are maybe more on the pearl end of the spectrum, pearl satin, but it's definitely an equal mix of shimmer and matte eyeshadows, which I thought was really, really great. They are a little bit powdery. However, I find that the matte shadows so far appear to work really well with blending brushes, but when it comes to these shimmer shadows, they tend to apply a little bit better with your fingers over using a brush. So that was a little bit of a letdown for me because I do not like putting my fingers into my eyeshadow palettes, but it is probably going to be a necessity if I plan on using these shimmer or pearl shadows on my lids, which, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? Some eyeshadows are just like that. So that's something to watch out for. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys swatches. I'm going to go ahead and swatch down each row so that you can see what they look like. And I'll swatch them on my fingers and then also on my arm. So that is the first row. So here we have a really nice matte white, a creamy skin toned color, skin toned as in for my skin tone. If you're darker than me, you know, this would probably be more of a highlight on you. And then there is a shimmery champagne shade at the bottom, which I actually have on my lid today. So let's do this on my arm here. So there's the first 3 swatched on my arm. And let me pull this down a little further and give you guys one more look here. Let's do the next row, which is a gold, shimmery gold. This actually looks to be a little bit of a satin finish. I thought it was matte at first, but it's a satin finish. It's like a milk chocolatey brown and then a rose gold. So there's those 3. And then so you can see that they're swatching pretty well. And the texture of these is, I would say, It's different from the original LORAC Pro palettes in that these seem to be a little bit drier. They're not quite as creamy as the LORAC Pro. Next row is a definitely shimmery gold type shade, a lighter milk chocolate shade, and then a light camel type color. So there's that row there. Again, that's the third row from the right. And there's that one right there. And then the last row, some of these colors seem very, very similar. This is again, a milk chocolate brown, a darker milk chocolate brown, and then an even slightly darker. It's like shades of milk chocolate is really what this is. I would say the browns are actually pretty neutral. They're not super warm. They're not super cool. And we're going to be competing with arm hair here. Sorry. Tacky. So there's that very last row right down here. So you can see that these are definitely, they are nude. They are not as pigmented as the LORAC Pro palette eyeshadows, but I don't think that they are necessarily intended to have that type of pigmentation. I think this is meant to be an everyday, easy to wear, simple eyeshadow palette. Let's get that off there. Take another peek at the colors. They are beautiful colors. They really are. A lot of them, honestly, though, are very similar. I think I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more variety in the shades. But the shades that they do have in here, I would wear every single one. Like, there is not one shade in this palette that I would not put on my eyeballs. So with these neutral palettes, that's really kind of nice because I feel like you get a lot of versatility out of this. If you finish one of the colors, you know, if you hit pan on it, like, you can probably go to its next door neighbor and achieve almost the same look. So I feel like this is a palette you could probably have for a while, even if you hit pan on certain shades. You can easily replace that color with another one in the palette. But overall, I would say for $30, this is definitely worth it, at least to me. I'm glad to have this in my collection. What it honestly reminded me of, and I'm going to grab it really quickly, is my Becca Ombre Nudes eyeshadow palette. And not necessarily because of the colors that are in here, but because of the texture and how they apply. This Becca palette is not the most pigmented palette that I have. However, I love it because it's great for every day. It's quick. The colors are easily blended. They are just pigmented enough to make my eyes look polished and pretty, but I don't ever look overdone when I use this. Like, it's almost impossible for me to get an overdone look when I'm using this palette, and I feel like it's going to be the same for this guy here. Like, it's not meant to be something where you're going to get a dramatic look out of this. You're just not. If you are looking for something that has a good mix of matte and shimmer, pearl type finishes, if you are looking for something that's great for every day, something that's just super natural, super neutral, definitely pick this guy up. However, if you are looking for the opposite, where you want things to be crazy pigmented, to really like make an impact statement, like, this is not going to be the palette for you. But for $30, I really do think that it's worth checking out. I do really like the packaging. This would be something that's easy to travel with. It's very slim, obviously, and it's, you know, like, it's a hard plastic and it snaps shut, so you don't have to worry about it like opening in your makeup case. I don't know. I think this guy's great for the price. It's not as good as some of the other LORAC eyeshadows, but to me that's okay. In terms of any special claims back here, they tell you that you can create soft, delicate, and wearable combinations. They talk about how there is a mix of warm, cool, and neutral shades that are perfect for everyday wear. Yeah, I mean, they really definitely market this as more of like a natural, like, everyday type of eyeshadow palette. There you guys go. Those are my thoughts. I'm a fan. I think it's probably something where half the people are going to love this and the other half are going to be like, I kind of wish that I wouldn't have bought it. So I think this is one where you're going to have to buy it yourself and try it. For me, it's a keeper, so I will keep this one. If you have any questions, definitely let me know down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.